I started my channel, it wasn't so much of an egotistical thing. It was more of a joining in a discussion with other people. And when I started my channel, I think it was like 6 years ago or something, it was the accumulation of my previous 15 or so years. So it was all of my writing in my journal, all of my thoughts about the younger me, everything that had brought me to that point. And I basically just reflected on all that frustration and the questions and, the self-analysis of the 15 or so years prior. But after 1 or 2 years of going through that history of mine, making video essays of what I'd learned in my past, I came to the point where I wanted to continue being honest, but in the present. So the point at which in my videos I started showing my face, that's when I was actually making videos about who I am now. I think that was the time I started to make more philosophical and reflective videos about how I was thinking and how to interpret and reinterpret situations that were healthier, that were better, to make better choices with women, with life in general. Now, I know it's not the most popular subject, but for me, it's the most interesting and important, because when you know what your yeses and your nos are, when you really start to develop your ethics and you keep sharpening them and talking about them, I found that was the most constructive period of my life, those years, working out my problems with women in relationships. I just didn't like having to act like a tough guy to make my world right for myself, for the woman I'm with my job and routines. I just intuitively knew that the answers were to be found in very open conversations, not weak ones, but very open, direct, and honest conversations about where your worries lie, where you really need to work on stuff. You can't just pretend. You just can't label your way out of it. You have to keep facing it and facing it and facing it until it's no longer there in its past form. So when I started showing my face and started asking more philosophical questions, started to chew on ethics, morals, and what the right way to think is, or at least what I was trying to do. I was trying to think better as a guy so I wouldn't naively, blindly sleepwalk through the same things I'd always been doing with women and life in general. And it got clearer and simpler the more direct I was at facing those things. And if you pay attention to the chronology from when I showed my face right until the present, it's been this evolution of me trying to figure things out for myself in a discussion with you guys, and hopefully amongst ourselves, we've been able to kind of share where we are and chew through stuff. And I've really been grateful for that. Being able to openly almost journal with you guys in the comment section, through the streams, reflecting my thoughts, things like that. And then now I don't want to fight anymore. I want to have reflective discussions, conversations, and make videos that make us remember what it is to be alive. And while it's interesting and often necessary to discuss what we don't want, I really want to focus on not just talking about history or talking about stats or talking about the structure. I'm really interested in making it personal. And I've been leaning in that direction for the last, say, 2 years especially. And since Dad passed away, especially, yeah. When he passed away, it was like everything's about the good people in my life and putting away the sword. I'm not interested in the clickbait of dating strategies and why we're right and they're wrong. Playing this kind of video game online with social relationships and parasocial relationships, how to figure plural women or men out, how to figure the structure out. I'm much more interested in the personal. And I find that's what I enjoy the most, the personal aspect of the videos I'm making. Sure, I vented a lot of all of my journal entries and all of my history and the past and what I'd learned and accumulated to that point when I started my channel. And I got a lot off my chest. And then after that, it's okay, now what? Now what? And it's been a continual now what, rather than the hamster wheel of just regurgitating old talking points. At least I've tried to. I know I've failed a fair few times. But I find myself more and more when I'm in conversations with guys talking about these same old things I was interested in 5 or 6 years ago, that I've worn out that conversation. And frankly, I don't care about women plural. I don't care about men plural unless that individual guy I'm talking to can talk to me in a conversation and say, this is the difference. I'm much more interested in a personal conversation where a guy says, my ex broke my heart and this happened and this is what I learned. Do you think that X, Y, and Z? Because I've been thinking about how I acted and how she acted. And I've come to realize that blah, blah, blah. Those are the kind of personal, self-reflective conversations I'm more interested in. And not the women and the system and the laws and this 35-year-old soccer mum has an OnlyFans page and blah, blah, blah. And did you see what this idiot did? And it's all entertainment. I'm much rather interested in the interesting, personal, informative discussions and videos we could have and share and create and learn from, rather than being entertained by this stuff. Yeah, that's probably the best way to put it. I'm not entertained by this stuff anymore. I'm interested in the personal, reflective aspect of this stuff. What happened to you? What happened to me? What we both learnt. That to me is interesting. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments section. What are you done with? And what do you want more of? What have you let go of? Finally. Yeah, interesting. Anyway, I'm going to be away for the next 2 weeks. So I'll see you in a couple of weeks for the next video, guys. Have a good one, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.